Hello and welcome to the Adam Friedland Show Premium Podcast. We thank you for joining us on our Patreon feed.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. I also just want to say we lost a buddy on Friday, a friend of ours, and he loved the show, and I just want to...
R.I.P. Danny.
I just want to say R.I.P. Danny. He was a really good guy, and it was always great to see him, and it's sad we won't get to see him anymore, so...
Let's have 45 minutes of silence for
Yeah,
Danny.
I'm thinking maybe 59 minutes of silence for Danny. It's what he would have wanted, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so whatever. Every day, whatever.
Yeah, stop dying, folks.
Don't die, please.
Don't die on us.
Please. I feel like a lot of people have died.
Yeah, a lot of people.
A lot of people have died.
A lot of people have died. Real
First
quick,
story.
Friday, Saturday, I will be in Chicago, Illinois, at the Chicago Improv in Schaumburg. Please come out to that. And then August 17th through 19th, I will be bringing the gang, and we will be shooting those shows with multiple cameras, and hopefully Steven will be able to edit that into a thing I can put on YouTube, and hopefully I can become the Matt Rife too.
Mm-hmm. You got to get sexy.
I'm just gonna change my name to Matt Rife. I could
Matt
do
Rife
that, right?
too?
Legally, I could do that. I could change my name to Matt Rife, and I could just tour.
Yeah, speaking AAV.
I mean, well, I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is change my name.
Yeah.
And then I could just scam people, basically.
Yeah. I was thinking about changing my name to Cat Williams for a while.
I could change my name to Matt Life, and be a Chinese guy, and then
and an insurance company. Yeah, so definitely, guys, come to Denver, Colorado. It's the big taping for Nick.
Yeah, Matt Rife is life insurance for Chinese people. Everybody's talking about this Matt Rife guy, and I said, well, who is that? Life insurance for Chinese people.
Also the following weekend,
is that
guys,
one of his bits? Does he do that?
I think that's his closer. Yeah, I think that's his closer. He's like, damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and then I think we pulled, I was supposed to be in Irvine in November. We pulled that because it would be, I was just in Brea, and it would be mostly the same act if you had seen that. So
you're an Orange County comedy fixture at this point.
The main reason I want to put this out is because then it'll force me to burn this hour, and then I have to do a couple months in the clubs here in New York.
Back to the gym.
Back to the gym, I guess. But
also, guys, I will be returning my first headlining set back where it all started, Washington, D.C., the 24th through 25th, I think, something like that, at the D.C. Comedy Loft of August. So please come out and see.
And we got to plan something for September because you're going on vacation for like 2 weeks.
Yes, I think I'm gonna go on vacation for 2 weeks with my girlfriend.
So we got to figure out what we're doing.
We got to figure out what we're doing.
Where are you going?
I think we're talking about going to Italy. I've never been.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Yeah.
You're gonna try the spaghetti in Italy.
I'm gonna try the spaghetti. I'm gonna try.
She's Italian, right?
Her last name is. She's 25%.
Okay.
She's mainly Irish. I think you can see in the complexion and the hair color. But she's a little bit Jewish and a little bit Italian.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit country and I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Yeah. But I think we're gonna do that. I don't know. We haven't booked our flights yet. We haven't really made a plan, but it's been a year of working really hard on the show, and I don't know
how do you get status with airlines? I only fly American, and I can't. I guess you have to have their credit card to do it.
Yeah.
I can't get another credit card.
I feel like a real dum-dum because I should have gotten the fucking Delta credit card at the beginning of the year before I started like this whole run of shows.
Yeah, I fly only American. I don't have status, and I fly every other weekend.
You have a frequent flyer?
Yeah.
Number?
Yeah, it just doesn't add up.
I just also like you get access to the lounge.
I don't even have like the first tier of status.
Yeah, I don't fucking know how it works at all.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I guess you have to have their fucking credit card, which I can't get now because I just had a bunch of medical debt hit the bureaus.
You did?
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, that thing that you were like, I'm not gonna pay that? Or did you pay it?
No, I didn't. Well, obviously I didn't.
Well, you gotta pay it then.
I don't know about that. Healthcare is a human right.
Yeah, that's right, dude. Bernie.
Also, I asked for an itemized bill and they didn't send it to me. They just
Yeah.
immediately sent it to collections. They're like, yeah, we're not doing
What a
anything.
fucking scam.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
Although
just,
that might become illegal in New York.
you gotta just go to the fucking,
Anything under 500 now isn't reported to the agencies nationwide.
yeah, but if you go to the ER, it's like
I know,
1,000
yeah.
automatically.
No, it's way more than that. But
Is it?
New York has a bill that just passed both chambers that has to be signed that says that they're not in New York. They can't report any amount of medical debt to the credit bureaus.
I just say my name is Matt Rife.
Yeah.
I go there.
You
It's
put
like,
that down as your insurance?
yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, you're not Chinese.
Yeah.
You're not a Chinese guy. What do you mean?
You're not doing crowd work with all the nurses and making them fall in love.
Yeah. How much longer do you think the crowd work thing's going to last?
Hopefully forever.
Yeah.
1,000 years crowd work, folks.
Wardell is doing it now, I heard.
He's doing it now?
He's doing crowd work.
Well, I don't know. He has the same agents as us, and they've said to me plenty of times, why don't you post some crowd work so you don't burn the act?
Yeah.
Agents love saying that.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably been told
To do
by the
crowd work.
fucking Jews.
To do crowd work.
Yeah.
I had a dream I was at your apartment and Wardell was staying with you, and he was walking around the house completely naked, wearing like sneakers, like running sneakers.
Yeah.
And then he went in the back, and I was like, "Why did you let him just do that?" And you're like, "I don't know. He just like makes himself at home while he's here."
He hasn't stayed with me for some time now. It's been a fool me, I think at this point, four or five times situation. But we love him. We love the boy.
It's a big week in the news.
Huge week.
Yeah, aliens. They're saying they're real, which
And no one cares.
no one cares, and then everyone else says that the aliens are a distraction from
Hunter's penis.
Yeah, I guess the Hunter Biden stuff.
Yeah.
Devin Archer is testifying today.
Who's that?
Hunter Biden's former business partner,
Wow.
which all of his friends are great. All of these guys that were around Hunter Biden,
Yeah.
just like these.
His pussy posse?
Yeah, because I mean, like, you got to be a real parasite to. You see a guy like Hunter Biden, you're like, the president's crackhead son.
Yeah.
I'm gonna gas this motherfucker up, dude. I am going to cut myself off a slice of whatever is going on.
It's go off season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but he's set to testify in Congress today and explain that Joe Biden was privy to business deals or something, which runs counter to what Joe Biden had said. But I guess there's he's already been convicted. He's due
Devin?
Devin. And this is the other thing I don't understand, is that if you're rich enough, you can get convicted of a crime and have a prison sentence, which he has.
Yeah.
And he's arguing with the Department of Justice as to when he has to go to prison.
So sick.
You get to just not, you would be like, yeah, I don't think I'm going
I
to.
got shit to do.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that.
I don't want.
Yeah, so now, like, conservative media is reporting it. It's like suspicious timing that the Department of Justice is trying to force Devin Archer, who is already convicted and sentenced to prison, to go to prison now, right before his, testimony.
So they're trying to put him in prison so he can't testify?
I think he refuted that. Him and his lawyer said, like, no, that's
Yeah.
not really what's going on. But I also don't understand why he's testifying. I thought he was, friends with Hunter Biden, why he would go to Congress and be like, oh yeah, no, Joe Biden knew everything.
Yeah.
So it could be a shock. I feel like with most like Republican
But they're
scandals-
running all those committees now too.
Yeah, they're not actually very good at scandals.
The Republicans?
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, well, it used to be like Obama ate
And
a
there was-
gay burger
I feel
or
like
something.
Democrats had this perception, especially during the Trump years. They're like, the Republicans do all this awful shit. Meanwhile, Obama wears a tan suit.
Yeah.
And it's like, but nothing happened because of the tan suit.
Yeah.
In fact, it just like put the absurdity of these complaints
It
on
made them
display.
look dumb.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like nobody really gives a fuck about the the Hunter Biden business thing.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like just the cycle of anything is like our attention span at this point is so we're like bugs at this point.
Yeah.
We're like we have like we just live in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody, it's not even like you don't even have to be cynical to understand that, like, we live in like a lie, basically. It's like there's no, the president's son isn't going to go to jail. You just know that.
Yeah.
It doesn't,
It's
not,
against the law.
It's just not going to happen.
It's just not.
Rich people don't face consequences.
Yeah.
Certainly people at that level.
I know that Trump kind of wasn't of their social cohort, but like I just can't believe that he's ever gonna go to jail.
Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know.
it would be so sick if he was just the president from jail.
Yeah.
There's nothing. That'd be great. They're like a fucking comedy. There's nothing in the rule book.
Like what's that Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where he has to go undercover in prison?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember that, but it'd be like that where Donald Trump is just the drag queen that lives in the basement. Whoever that character is. Was that Wesley Snipes? What movie am I thinking of?
I don't know. I'm what's in my mind is the movie where Vince Vaughn goes to jail and beats people up. The Zoller movie.
Swingers.
Swingers, yeah.
Yeah. You want to suck my dick, baby?
They say baby so much in that movie.
It's weird.
It's really weird. That is like, I kind of think like the best testament to the Zoot Suit revival era of the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You pointed it out, but it's actually The Mask that started all of that.
Kind of The Mask did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my mind, that had come out years later, but it was The
Was
Mask.
it 95? 97?
95.
95.
And Swingers was like 96 or 97. So The Mask predates it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really odd era.
Mm-hmm.
It's those two movies and the cherry popping daddies.
Yeah.
The virgin fucking daddies.
I had a good week of movie watching.
What'd you watch?
I couldn't go see Barbie. It's sold out.
You can't see movies anywhere anymore.
Yeah. Or it's like only the front row available.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is still, it's amazing that those are still dog shit seats.
Yeah, they're so
Just
bad.
don't put seats there.
It's like the coach of the theater. Did they start that thing yet of like where you have to pay premium prices like on a plane?
They did that at AMC, and then AMC just dropped it 2 weeks ago because some like old guy in Florida got the shit kicked out of him by some black dude who took his seat. There's like video of it. He's like, "Oh, you're in my seat, boy." And then,
Oh no.
yeah, the guy was like, "Oh, we'll see whose seat it is now."
He said, "Boy."
I'm assuming he did.
He probably did.
Yeah, like then they only talked to him, and he was like, "Oh, I went up and politely asked for my seat."
Yeah, of course.
Sure you did.
Yeah, I'm sure you.
Let's see the back of your car.
Yeah.
Let's see what's written on the back of your car.
Let's see what stickers you
Let's
own.
just interview your lawn and your car.
Do we have fucking fruit flies in this studio?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Just weird.
We're gonna do a big organization and clean, guys. I know you've been really worried about
probably
this.
because we got a big rotting fruit right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, little old me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best kind of gay guy you can be. Is like 70-year-old.
Yeah.
Like complaining about how you're past your prime.
Well, I had an office in this neighborhood years
I remember.
ago.
Yeah, in Chelsea.
And I would go get lunch, and the Chelsea demographic.
Mm-hmm. Rich gays.
These rich old gays.
Mm-hmm.
And I would sit there at lunch, and like routinely, it would just be a 70-year-old gay couple sitting there, and they'd be like, "I want to see this guy humiliated in jail. I can't wait until he's in prison." Basically, they loathe Trump. Remember the dancing after Biden won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was happening in Bedside. That was happening by me too.
Yeah.
There were people wearing Biden-Harris T-shirts, and I was like, "Where did you get those?"
Yeah.
I didn't see any of those ever.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, and like the day they won, they were like wearing T-shirts and stuff. I was like, it's like people were like supporting him in secret or something. They weren't like going out on the line like I was saying, "We got to vote for Sleepy Man."
Sleeps.
I love Sleeps.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I love the way he dismisses stuff. Like it could be, they could actually. I mean, that's the other thing too with these scandals is they have to. There's never any smoking gun, and they slow walk all of the evidence. That if it eventually gets to the point where it's like, here's a recording of Joe Biden saying like, if you give my family $1 million, I'll pass a law saying the Chinese people are cool. Like whatever, whatever the
If you
whatever
give
the
my
deal was.
crackhead
Yeah.
son Hunter,
If you hire a dragon lady to suck Hunter's cock, we'll pass the Chinese people are cool act.
we'll pass the karate act.
We'll make karate legal in all 50 states. Even if they had that recording, it's like, it's been this slow drip thing that nobody would fucking care. But the way he dismisses stuff is so funny.
It would be cool if he
He's
was
like, did you know about your son's business dealings? He's like, come on, man, cut me some slack.
Jack.
He's like, give me a break, man. He's just like, get off my
He's
nuts.
awesome, dude.
Get off my fucking ass.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's awesome. We don't appreciate how awesome he is.
Mm-hmm.
My algorithm on Instagram Reels is now like all conservative accounts just because I like watch so many Biden guffaw videos.
Yeah.
Or yeah, it would be cool if he
Yeah,
was
I
doing
told
like
you,
a,
I was off.
yeah.
I was off Twitter forever, and then they made that change where you can't even see it if you don't have an account. Because I would still look. I'd go there and I'd do my searches. I'd see
what the old gang is up to.
Yeah, see what people are talking about with regard. I mean, it's a good way to get news because I just like often too. It's like so much coverage is repetitive. I already have all the facts. I just go right to the comment section. I want to see people yelling at each other.
Right. It's a good way to see the dumbest opinion on every
and
subject.
seeing people yell at each other.
Yeah.
But then since they changed it where you couldn't see it at all, it's like broken. I've just been completely off, and it's weird. It's weird to like.
You should just make a burner, dude. You got to see
No,
the
I don't.
dum-dums.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I worry about things like, oh, I should vacuum.
Yeah.
I should vacuum.
There's
I should
dust.
do this. Yeah, I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really check it so much anymore either, but I do miss, like, just anytime anything happened, just like that's your thumb's reflex. It's just
No,
like,
I check in with my dad to see what he's scared about.
what is he scared about?
Climate change now, and which is like, did something different happen with climate change?
My dad was on the climate change show last week.
Yeah, and it's like, is it just summer?
I think MSNBC, I think it's really hot, yes.
Yeah.
It's really hot, and probably that's what MSNBC is talking about this week. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's worried about climate change and democracy. He's like, Donald
Democracy?
Trump is taking away my democracy.
He's not the president.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
They should chill, dude. They should hang out.
Yeah.
They should hang out.
I'm like, you're just a Fox News guy now. You're old and you just get scared by the TV.
My dad thought Vladimir Putin was trying to kill him.
It's just like,
He thought Putin was in the Kremlin being like, I'm going to kill Max.
yeah, right.
I'm going to kill that old guy, Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were like just sitting there. Rachel Maddow was just like making them think that their lives were in danger.
Well, it's also too, it's like my dad's not dumb, but like now he's just convinced that like democracy in the United States has been perfect and flawless, that every election has been perfect. We've
The
always had
Senate exists, bro.
we've had election integrity. There's never been a concern. And there's no reason to question the elections until Donald Trump, and now Donald Trump's trying to get rid of democracy. He's like, he's going to figure out a way to get back in power and make himself king.
I don't understand how they got around killing the president because that was all of their guy. The boomers, like Kennedy was like, that was their, like, it was pretty clear the government killed their guy and it didn't really radicalize anyone.
Yeah.
Everyone just got sad.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. I tell you, I read those LBJ books.
Yeah.
It's like like using that as an example. So famously, LBJ stole the 1948 election. That's.
Who's that? Dewey defeats, what's 1948? That's
The 1948 Senate election.
in Texas.
Yeah. So famously, he stole that one. But in 1941, he ran and lost to O'Daniels, the governor. And it was like the method in which he stole, I didn't know. I mean, I just like, it's one of those things you say, you say like, oh, well, actually Russia won the World War II. And then if I said that very confidently while drunk at a bar, being like, actually, Russia won World War II. If you said, oh, really? How? I go, I'm gonna get another beer. I'll see you later. I'm tired. I could explain it, but I have to get I have penis surgery in the morning, and I need my penis sleep.
I need to rest my cock.
I need to wrap my penis in honey-soaked napkins before my penis surgery tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
But I'll remember this conversation, and I'll explain to you the World War II thing for sure. Yeah, I mean, I could say, oh yeah, LBJ stole the '48 election, but the technical details I had no idea about. But '41 was crazy too, because like all of South Texas, like the Valley and stuff, it's all Mexican people, and like a lot of it was like culturally, it was Mexico. They didn't speak English. They didn't, and all of those communities were just controlled by like the one white guy in town who was usually like the sheriff, who would like just
boss hog.
Yeah, like wear bullets. Yeah, like wear the Wharf bullet fucking sash and shit.
Joe Arpaio.
And they would round up all these Mexican people and take them to the polls and like literally stand there with them and be like, yeah, you got to vote for this guy. And all of those guys, the jefes, were just controlled by like a political boss, like the South Texas political boss.
Well, it was like that with immigrants in NYC too, right?
Yeah, but it like pales in comparison to Texas.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like like Tammany Hall back, and you have to go back fucking almost 100 years to see that level of like corruption. I think in New York City.
Yeah.
Like Tammany Hall, they would be all these immigrants that would come in. They'd say, if you vote for this guy, we'll give you jobs and kickbacks in the government once we have control.
Yeah.
But yeah, they would round people up and bring them there. I think it was a little bit harder to get away with like blatant election fraud. But then they would do shit like there were towns in South Texas where there was 100 people registered to vote. And they would just take buses, drive into Mexico, get more Mexicans from
Mexico. They go over
Mexico,
to Juarez.
and just get Mexicans from Mexico and bring them into the country for the sole purpose of voting.
That's awesome.
So these districts would report, and they're like, yeah, we got 400 votes for Johnson and 0 for the other candidate. I mean, it was like, it was wild. And in '41. LBJ did that. He bought out all the South Texas votes, and it was election day. And the guy George Parr, who was like the head criminal who controlled all of these votes, he asked me, he's like, well, when do you want us to report these votes? And LBJ fucked up because he didn't wait, so he like showed his hand like almost right away. Like he said, report them now. Let's get the votes in. So he was like way ahead.
He got excited.
So he had him report the votes, and then the other candidate, the governor, and this is funny too, is because the governor was just like an idiot. He was like a guy that got popular on the radio, like yodeling. And then he started like yodeling for flower companies.
The Soggy Bottom Boys.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And he was just this like carpetbagger from Kansas that moved to Texas.
Oh gosh.
And he was like, I just sell flour on the radio. And then on the radio, he was like, should I run for governor? And then a bunch of people were like, yes. And then he did, and he won. And he was like this like beloved governor, even though he didn't really do anything other than yodel.
That's awesome.
And so he decided to run for Senate after.
Yeah.
And it wasn't him that, because LBJ had the votes and LBJ was against this guy for the Senate race. But the business community of Texas realized that, like, okay, if this guy stays governor, if he continues to be governor, then there's a good chance that he could make these like pension reforms that would increase the taxes on oil, and he also had become throughout that campaign more like hostile towards like alcohol, and the beer industry in Texas was huge. So we're like, well, we got to get this guy out of the governor's office, so we're gonna rig the election so that he wins the Senate race. So LBJ already announced like, oh, here's all my votes from South Texas and the cities, and he's like ahead by this major margin. And then the business community knew the number that they needed to beat. So they went out into East Texas and like the I don't know if the hill country, but East Texas, and they were like, all right, these are the votes we need, and they just paid out the money, and all these like fake numbers came in. But the entire thing, I mean, it's like the whole thing is just a giant fucking sham. And
That's so fun.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was literally.
It's like
just,
a game.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. It was just, it's all just fucking. There's not even a semblance of democracy happening. I mean, it's like LBJ being hurt because he announced
He
his
didn't
stolen.
cheat good enough.
Yeah, he cheated at the. He didn't
fucked
cheat.
up cheating.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well, didn't
And
Kennedy?
to like have that information and then like be like, oh, Donald Trump is.
Kennedy famously stole the election.
Yeah.
His dad got all those dead people to vote for him in Illinois.
Yeah, yeah. We know democracy isn't fucking real.
It's so sick. Yeah, it's not real at all. But yeah, but our dads, they should they're hurting our dads. And that's really what's most important.
Yeah.
I did go to the Four Promises Park for the first time.
I just want to get my dad like a Rubik's Cube. Be like, just do this.
We gotta do something to occupy their time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
I shouldn't have bought him that TV. That's the problem.
What did you get him? OLED?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, like the C9 or something.
Oh, the LG.
Yeah.
You didn't get him the Bravia?
No, I got him an LG.
Because he's a gamer. The LG is better for gaming.
I can't remember why. I mean, I tried to put, you know me, I'm a Sony guy. I don't think
you're
really,
a Sony man.
Yeah, it was his birthday. I took him to Costco. I'm like, let me get you a TV.
I love
Because he had like he had like a 24-inch. It was a computer monitor from like fucking like 2001, and he's like, I tell you, the flat screen TV. He's like talking about it like it's. He's like that
like
picture.
he's like
I'm
this James Bond or
I'm
something.
like, let me get you a real television.
Yeah, I think I got my dad a TV like 4 years ago, and he was so happy.
Yeah,
But I got him
no,
a
he was
Bravia.
reluctant at first. He was like really upset that day.
Why?
I don't know. He felt like it was like condescending or something.
My fucking dad was doing that too.
Yeah.
I took him out for his birthday, and he kept trying to see the check.
Yeah.
I was just like, just give it a fucking break, bro.
Yeah.
And he's like, this isn't fair.
But, you know, if he didn't have that TV, he wouldn't be sitting around watching Rachel Maddow.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe we need to like create broadcasting and just hack into his cable.
That's what I should do. Is I should get
Really
I should
run
get
a
a special TV.
propaganda campaign.
You should get a special TV and then use AI to create a fake Rachel Maddow that's like, you know, it's today's date and everything is fine.
Yeah.
You know, nothing's wrong. This has been lesbian news. Enjoy your applesauce. Enjoy your applesauce. Good luck with that Rubik's Cube. The only way to save democracy is to finish the Rubik's Cube today.
Your son is busy. Don't call.
Don't call him.
He has a lot of work. He appreciates the calls and he misses you every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. My dad's in North Carolina right now.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's right. She's
at-
a lesbian, right? The woman he's seen?
My aunt?
Yeah.
No, she's not a lesbian.
I don't know why. When you tell me an older woman has moved to North Carolina.
It sounds like a lesbian move.
Yeah, it's a lesbian.
Yeah,
That's
sounds
like a
like a
Kathy
lesbian
Bates
move.
style lesbian.
Yeah. No, but it is like
I'm
a.
moving to the mountains.
Yeah,
I'm bringing my big old pussy up to the mountains. I'm gonna fill it with smoke.
I'm gonna start a varmint farm.
I'm gonna start barbecuing in my pussy. I'm gonna fill it up with hickory smoke and just dry out meats in there. In my
Just
big
weld.
big old mountain pussy. Get a little crick in between my pussy and my asshole. Get some squirrels, drink out of it.
Her character in Rat Race is so funny. The squirrel farmer.
Is she a squirrel? I have not seen. You know, I saw Rat Race in
Dude,
theaters,
I saw it in theaters too.
and I have not seen it since.
I saw it at my friend's.
The only thing I remember
birthday.
about it is Hitler's car. It's the only detail I remember is like that. I love that car.
His mom, yeah, his daughter puts on Ava Braun's scarf and
Yeah.
sunglasses, and she goes to John Lovitz and she goes, "Look, Dad, I'm Mrs. Hitler." That scene, the scene where they get in that car accident, I think I'm on record as saying that's the funniest scene in any movie.
I don't remember the car accident.
He has stolen Hitler's car to escape the Nazis, and then through some series of accidents, he's burned his tongue on the car
the
lighter.
cigarette lighter, yeah.
he offends a group of lesbian bikers. Ava Braun's makeup ends up on the wheel of the car, and he hits the wheel, and he gets the Hitler mustache.
yeah.
And then he crashes through a fence, and he's at a World War II veterans like rally.
I really don't like that Hitler's car is stigmatized.
Well, he had good taste.
Well, it's a beautiful car.
Well, the Germans make great cars.
The car didn't do anything wrong.
I think the car wouldn't like it if a Jew was driving.
The same thing with the Hindenburg. Beautiful ships. Like that should not be a controversial opinion. And it's equated like when people say like, well, Hitler was a great orator. It's like, no, now you're complimenting Hitler.
Right.
The car is, leave the car alone.
Yeah.
And
I
leave
mean,
the
so many
Hindenburg.
people are just like, they want to read a book by its cover, and they just see that giant swastika on the side of that.
Yeah.
Or they see those little Nazi flags in the front of Hitler's car, and they just want to act like it's a racist car. Mm-hmm. It's that. I think that's a good lesson for the boys listening to the show, right?
The scary Nazi car is the trucks from Come and See.
What were those?
I don't know, but they had like Chinese eyes.
Oh yeah, they were very scary.
Yeah.
Did you know about that project they had where they tried to build the biggest tank of all time?
Yeah.
And it would just
Yeah, the giant, yeah.
they built a tank that was like 4 times bigger than the like Sherman tanks or something, but it was like it had to be refueled every 3 miles or something. It was like, completely impractical.
Well, they had some like they had some project. I remember seeing it on the History Channel years ago about like
I think I saw that on the History Channel.
bell thing.
What was the bell thing?
There was some bell that could summon ghosts that they were working on, but I think it just blasted radiation into the town. They just made like a microwave without a door. And they were like, yeah, we're summoning ghosts. And then I think it just gave people a bunch of radiation sickness.
Dude, they did so much funny stuff.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
not the Holocaust. That was
honestly,
fucked
a lot of bad stuff happened, but last century was way better than... The last century was way cooler than this one.
It would have been simpler if part of being a man was just you go to the war.
We're gonna have a Great Depression, and we didn't even get like a Gilded Age, you know?
Yeah. We didn't even get to like...
Our version of the Great Gatsby is like a guy that made a bunch of money off crypto and fucked the ugliest woman in the world and stole everybody's money. That's the Great Gatsby is SBF. He doesn't even have cool clothes.
He sucks.
He looks like he lives off fucking Monster Energy.
He sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that girl, I've now just remembered how ugly that girl is.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
kind of
God.
the benefit
That mouse bitch.
of homophobia.
Yeah.
Is like 100 years ago, and stay with me here, I'm not saying anything bad, but when it's suppressed, when gay culture is suppressed, it's like, you know, trying to pop a pimple and the head isn't there, so it becomes systemic, and then everything's gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now,
So you're saying like flappers and jazz shit
that's
was
all
gay.
That's all gay stuff, yeah.
It's gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because you couldn't, you know, like, well, I can't suck a guy's cock down on Times
So I
Square.
have to go to parties.
Yeah, right. Time to have speakeasy parties.
Yeah, speakeasy parties.
Well, yeah, it's always New Year's when you're gay. When you're in the closet, it's New Year's every day.
Yeah, I think that computes.
Yeah.
I think that tracks. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I think
Now no culture is suppressed.
No, but it's a pretty
Probably
gay.
the only one left is black pedophile. That's probably the only...
Not a lot of people are appropriating black pedophile.
Well, what is that culture even? You don't even know. You don't see it. It has no representation whatsoever. Is black, like...
Yeah.
What is that? You can't even think, like...
I wonder what they're into.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Here come Mr. Suck Your Dick. You know, it's like, what is a black... How would you even do an impression of it?
They listen to I'm Your Pusha Man.
I guess.
Yeah. On the way to rape a kid.
Yeah. And they could be doing cool stuff.
They could be.
And we would have no idea. What if...
Because they hide in plain sight.
What if that's the last thing imbuing culture with any kind of style whatsoever?
Uh-huh.
What if, like, we make the mistake of saying, you know what, we're going to have a high-profile black pedophile, and we're going to be like, oh, this guy's cool. I guess R. Kelly.
Yes.
But it has to be little boys.
Tiny little angels.
Yeah.
And then the next step is that white women start acting like black pedophiles.
Well, everybody.
White women start appropriating.
Chase Bank would. So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it becomes like, so there's nothing cool about it anymore. You know what I mean? And then what would we have? Just AI culture? That would be the singularity.
I saw a video of, it was like the guy from what was he from, like Dipset, Tony Yayo. He was talking about what it must be like for R. Kelly in jail, and he's like, yeah, like people are making him stand on a table singing "I Believe I Can Fly," and then it cuts to this voicemail of this guy that's like, yeah, sing for my girl, and he's like singing. Guys are like making him sing like over the like jail phones for their girlfriends on the outside.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
That guy was amazing. Mm-hmm. We need a society. Is there room in society to forgive?
No.
Can't he get like a MacArthur Genius Pass?
No, nobody's forgiven for anything now. Now everything is an offense. Nothing is forgivable.
Mike Tyson brutally raped.
This is what I tried to say the other day.
And we love him.
And you were upset about shitting yourself is the only thing you can do anymore that's...
I can see that.
Yeah, it's the only forgivable thing, is to publicly shit yourself.
I can see that. Well, McConnell, they say, did it last week, but I don't know if it was a stroke or not.
Oh, that was definitely...
Did you see the video?
That was definitely something wrong with his brain.
Did you see you know that fat guy, Jerry Nadler?
Yeah.
Did you see the video of him shitting his pants in Congress?
Wait, did McConnell shit himself or he had a stroke?
His face was one either that he had an aneurysm or pooped. Mm-hmm. It can't be anything outside of that.
He was coming in his pants? Yeah. I'm finished.
Dude, you gotta see this video of Jerry Nadler.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy's body is so disgusting.
We should not, old people should not be in the government.
Dude, Dianne Feinstein has full dementia.
Dude, it's wild that is, how the fuck is that, why is that allowed? You can't, old people should not be in the government. They should not have any access to what's going on in the world whatsoever. We're still on strike, by the way.
Oh yeah. I'm solidarity. I'm not a member of the.
That's another wild thing that's going on.
I would never be a member of any group that would have me.
Yeah, they're granting all these interim agreements to companies, and then Sarah Silverman got mad. She's like, "What the fuck is this? We're supposed to be on strike, and now A-listers."
She said that was.
Yeah, they're granting these interim agreements, and then the union called her in, and they explained it to her. They say, okay, well, these production companies have to agree to the terms that we're demanding. So it proves to the studios, it's like, yeah, this is affordable. We can afford these things, and that's the way to end the strike. Which I guess makes sense if the productions they're granting waivers to weren't all overseas productions where 90% of the labor is fucking non-union.
Are they major, like, studio productions?
Tehran is, like, the biggest one I saw.
Really?
Yeah. That's like an Apple TV series.
Oh, so it's, yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That is, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the man.
Yeah,
right?
they shouldn't be granting it to anything that's not shot in the United States.
They should be produced by like a major studio.
The production companies should be forced to like union labor across the board. Otherwise, it's like, okay, yeah, so the actors' demands are affordable, and first of all, it's not. All of that shit is inaccessible to 90% of the people in the union because most of the people in the union are fucking background actors, and they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, they're gonna have to go to Moldova.
To be an extra. Yeah. That's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah. So we're fucking over the extras.
Yeah, I guess it's probably just gonna. I don't know. I mean, it seems like what all that proves to the studios is like, yeah, okay, we can afford this, so
we can circumvent it.
Yeah, we'll just outsource all the labor. We'll just move everything overseas.
I guess like every other industry.
And then if you have the strike going on and they're somehow able to sate their content needs with independent agreements that are all shot overseas, it's like, what, do you expect those jobs to come back?
Wait, so like major actors are working on the show Tehran right now?
Yeah. In the deadline
comments, that allowed?
I read that Meryl Streep is over there. I don't know if that's true. I saw someone say that, and somebody else said she's not on the show Tehran.
I mean, I'll have to I'll have to see some documentation on that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how it's allowed is, the production company has to agree to the terms, meaning they're due X amount up front, and then also, the residual amount, which when it goes to distribution, I guess
Oh, that they get back end.
they get the back end. But I don't really know how all that works. All I know is that
I don't know about business or any of that kind of stuff.
you have a strike and you put everybody out of the work, not just the people in your union. Then you create a way where there's a workaround that shuts out everybody else.
Yeah, it doesn't
except for
sound...
the people at the very top of the union.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds wrong. So we're on the record by saying that that's wrong, just so they know.
I don't think. Yeah, no, I thought maybe we'd get one for this so we can shoot these like sketches, but I guess even if you have one of those agreements, there's most people just aren't going to work anyways because they feel like
they feel like it's wrong.
Yeah, they feel like it's wrong.
And they're probably right.
Yeah.
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 Not us though.
Yeah.
Because we will there's no amount of money. I'm going to go on the record. A streamer could offer us $1 billion for the Adam Friedland show, but we're principled. We're independent. We're not fucking sellouts, dude.
Unless the money runs out, in which case it's time to sell out.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
At that point,
we'll have to explore.
It's sellout time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have to maybe a streamer of foreign government, State of Israel.
Yeah. If the options are scabbing or working at McDonald's.
Scabbing.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But in the instance that we are dramatically financially stable and we have nothing to worry about, solidarity all day long.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Look, I know maybe
as long as everything's all right,
you may be a below the line worker.
then solidarity.
Yeah. If you're you're a grip and you just had to sell your firstborn son to Indian pirates to cover rent for the month. Look, we're right there with you.
We're by your side, sir.
We are standing there in solidarity.
Solidarity to the best boys out there.
And we're in this for the long haul. Unless our money gets
Unless,
fucked up.
of course, our business. Then we're gonna have to explore. You gotta eat. You gotta eat.
You gotta, yeah.
You gotta eat. Folks.
Yeah. Explore other
options. So we're on the record there. I just want to express our solidarity for the strike. For our 99% solidarity.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Hot labor summer.
Hot. Of course, dude. It's scorching out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're fighting Bernie.
What is this election going to be? It's going to be crazy.
I hope it's just they run it back, Trump v. Biden.
It's going to be crazy.
They fucking give.
I said last time. Here's how dumb I am. The last election, I was like, this is going to be the worst turnout. I'm like, who's excited about these fucking candidates? Nobody. And it's the biggest turnout of all time.
Yeah.
I also said it would be the last election, and I still kind of feel that way. I think there's going to have to be something that happens. They're like, we're just going to pick the president.
Yeah, this guy DeSantis just does not have the sauce at all.
I mean, he's already fallen off, I guess. I watched one. I had C-SPAN on, and I saw him doing some speech in Texas, just boring the shit out of everybody there. He has no charisma. And then his move was, I guess his appeal was that he was supposed to be this guy that could embrace the things Donald Trump superficially did, but he wasn't, like a volatile, loudmouth moron, which, but then he decided to be this far right candidate. And half of his appeal, none of it, he wasn't campaigning throughout the pandemic, right? He wasn't planning on running for president. What brought him popularity outside of the state of Florida was just his COVID policies. That was it.
Right.
He was the guy that was like, let it rip, freedom's more important. And then, after that, questioning the vaccine. That was what created his appeal on the internet. And then since his campaign started, it's like, we're going to fucking send trans people to jail. And it's like, I don't think
and
people...
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. It's like dumb war with Disney.
We're going to send Goofy to Guantanamo.
Yeah, but those two are antithetical.
Right.
You can't be and I think, probably there's a lot of people that understand that conservative or liberal, but I You can make the argument that you shouldn't, even if there is a pandemic going on or whatever, you shouldn't be telling people you have to get a fucking vaccine to do this or that.
Or that you should be telling people they can't work.
They can't work, any one of these things. But you can't turn around and then they're looking into. He's launching an inquiry to see if he can sue Bud Light's parent company on behalf of
because of trans.
Yeah, because of the pension, the state pension. Because he said, "Oh, this is on behalf of the stockholders that through the pension fund have Bud Light stock." He's seeing if he can sue them for hiring for the Dylan Mulvaney can because it tanked the stock price. Saying, "Oh, well, now I'm going to sue on behalf of the stockholder." I mean, it's
because
like
the state pension plan.
It's absurd. I mean,
it makes no sense.
It's ridiculous.
So he's suing Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how invested he is in the anti-trans thing.
But
which
then
seems,
people
again,
think that he's suing trans, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So it's like a stunt.
Yeah, if he was like, "I'm going to sue Coca-Cola for coming up with new Coke," I mean, it's like, it'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense."
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. He's put all his eggs in the transphobia basket. That just seems dumb.
Yeah, I think that one could, as you were saying, make a very simple argument that the mortality rates in Florida were pretty much identical to New York State, which I read recently I think it was in the New Yorker. Mm-hmm. I mean, that would be a very simple argument that I think would convince a lot of people. Would be like, yeah, you know how you got a $2,000 check and we told you can't work anymore. Yeah, it didn't make any difference.
But that's the other thing too, is like, I don't think it matters.
I don't think it does.
Like I go out on the road and I do shows, and like I remember when I started going on the road or whatever, Shane just bullied me into doing that feature spot for him in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done stand up in 3 years.
No, you came to Chicago before that with me.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But I did that weekend with him. And I hadn't done stand-up in 3 years, and all this pandemic shit happened. And when it started, it's like, if you talk about the vaccines or the pandemic in any way, people are fired up about it. But now, people don't give a fuck. It's like, It's over. It's moved on. So I don't think that, like, it doesn't, outside of, like, the people that are already subscribed to, like, Substacks and still want to harp on, like, the vaccines or lockdowns or any of this shit, it's like, people don't fucking care. They've moved on. You can find out tomorrow that, like, the vaccines actually, it could be something dramatic, like, oh yeah, it gives you like long-term damage to your fucking organs in 1 of 25 people. It could be something, it could be proven that like this is a serious thing, and I don't think people would care until we get like an Insider or Aaron Brockovich style movie 10 years from now.
You gotta get a badass movie.
Michael Mann would have to make a very good movie about it.
You gotta get Pacino.
And then people would be like, can you believe what they did? I mean, it's like...
They were lying.
Yeah, people don't fucking care.
Yeah.
We all know the CIA killed the president.
I don't know nothing about the vaccine, but I do know that it seems like in retrospect... I mean, like, we just had a friend pass away. I don't know anyone, I don't know a lot of old people, but I don't know anyone who died of COVID, but I know plenty of people who have died in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Or relapsed
from podcasts, from overdosing on podcasts.
From relapsing on drugs and alcohol, from suicide, and from overdoses. And I think that it did have a massive, like, psychological impact on people.
Yeah.
But I do think that no one cares, but I don't understand why no one cares.
Because there's other shit to care about. The overdose thing, it's like now that's an issue of what? Like China bringing in fentanyl. So you have to be anti-China if you're anti-overdose.
Oh, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, everything's just going to be...
My friend is a middle school teacher, and she said that the kids are dumb now because they didn't go to school for 2 years.
Yeah.
She was like, they're dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty bad to do that to kids.
Yeah.
Like during their most important years. But who am I? Yeah. I am but a simple man.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever, dude. Shit's gay. It's sad.
Yeah. What do we got? 15 months now?
Of what?
Till the election.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hot.
What is it gonna like?
I don't care about elections. I don't care about politics. I don't care about the news.
I don't care about anything.
But what I do care about...
We have to do a podcast.
What I do care about...
So I'm hoping there'll be something funny that we said.
Sure. Yeah. But what I do care about is that every major candidate during both the primary and the general comes on the Adam Friedland show.
Yeah.
I do want this to be a must what is it?
Yeah.
Must stop.
Yeah,
Pit
and
stop.
the only thing that was looking exciting was like how RFK was growing in popularity, which I say all that about, people don't care, but his one issue is like the fucking vaccines. And he was polling at like 20% at one
In
point.
the Democratic Party.
Yeah, right. It was over at like 20%. Now, a lot of that could just be people are like, Kennedy?
Yeah.
Like
They
that.
love the family.
That could be all it was. It
Yeah.
was Kennedy, and then
People like the name.
but here's the tell that it really had nothing to do with the vaccines at all. Is he did that one? He had this one soundbite of him saying like, you also need to look at the way the virus was genetically engineered, because this is true. It somehow it doesn't affect, for whatever reason, it affects blacks and Caucasians more, but less so Chinese and Ashkenazi Jewish. And like, why is that? And then the headline is like, RFK Jr. says dirty Jews invented like vaccine or invented the virus or whatever.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think his numbers started dropping off. But you would think that, like, because again, I mean, everything's just like cultural, that the anti-vax people would be like, "You're goddamn right." That
Yeah,
you,
it seems like those guys would think
right,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So it doesn't make sense.
I think that was just the first time people are like, oh, the Kennedy guy, what's he think?
It was the last name.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
They were like, we want Camelot again. Yeah. The
Yeah.
family, they were so beautiful.
Yeah.
They were a gorgeous family. Yeah. The way those guys, like, I mean, my dad didn't live in this country, but the way, like, guys your dad's age, your generation talk about Kennedy, it's like,
My dad doesn't really talk about Kennedy.
he doesn't care?
He doesn't care.
Maybe it's the people older than.
My dad doesn't really seem like he ever cared about anything, and now he's just
Until
he's
Trump?
old, and not even Trump. It's just now that he has his MSNBC to watch, and he's because it's just entertainment. Like Fox News figured out years ago. I mean, I used to watch my grandpa do it. He'd sit there and they'd be like, "Mexicans are coming to steal your sandals," and he's like, "Not my sandals," And then you just have to hear about his goddamn sandals all the time. You know what I mean? And now it's they all know how to do it.
I got a gun
Yeah.
to protect my sandals from these dirty Mexicans. Yeah. That was like, I mean, it's still happening with the trans thing, I guess.
Yeah.
That's kind of just like the new Mexican
Yeah, I mean, you always need like some kind of existential threat to point
to
at.
ignore,
Yeah.
so people will forget that no one has money, right?
Yeah,
That for poor people to feel like they're better than other poor people.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. I
guess.
don't know the reason to do it. I'm tired of living in this world.
Really?
Yeah, I think everybody is. Nobody wants this. There's not a single person that's like, this is good.
This world?
Yeah, the way things are structured now, nobody's like, this is good.
Yeah.
Nobody's genuinely happy to be an American. They are in like, there's the guys that are patriots, but they hate half the country. You know what I mean?
I want to rewatch The West Wing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just
It
to
is a good
remember.
show.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
I hated that during the early days of like the libs are obsessed with the West Wing and Harry Potter. I like both those things.
If I were president,
I'm on the record.
If I were president, I would do it. I would be like the yodeling guy, right? I'd say, okay, first of all, we're going to get writers for the White House. We're going to turn the White House.
Obama definitely had writers.
We're going to speech writers, but we're going to have stories. It's going to be. There's going to always be. All of the drama will be scripted.
Yeah.
One day we're going to find out that I'm actually a dragon.
Yeah.
But from another dimension. So I got swapped with the dragon me from another dimension. Also, Olympics every 2 months. We redo the Olympics, and it's rigged in our favor.
Yes, we crush.
Yeah, we bring over basically just slaves.
The worst of the worst.
Yeah, from other countries, and then we just fucking throttle
We dunk.
at every sport.
Yeah.
We make up. I was channel surfing the other night, and I found last night the cornhole championships.
Yes, they now play that on television.
They play cornhole on television, and I can't tell. I'm watching this team. One of them looks like he's 53 years old, and his teammate is probably 12. It's like a fucking. It's not like.
How do they find each other?
I don't know.
On the
but they got jerseys they wear. It was Ohio versus Pennsylvania.
Let's go.
And if I went to a party, if I was at a barbecue and I watched that same game of cornhole,
Yeah.
I would say this looks like just people playing cornhole. They
Just
don't seem
they're
to have.
okay.
They're fine. They're not like particularly good at it. They're not, and the announcer, they just get like these like color commentators to just go nuts for it.
Yeah.
They're like, and it's an insane airmail. Are we gonna say they keep calling things airmail? I don't know what that is.
Is that like a
Lasering the airmail?
an air ball?
Yeah, I guess it's like.
Or no, but it's special delivery.
Yeah, where you drop it right into the hole. It doesn't.
Well, that was like when they canceled all sports during lockdown. That was like they were playing that on TV because those boys were like, no,
Yeah.
we're not fucking.
We're gonna keep doing.
We're gonna
cornhole.
keep playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that was like on ESPN, like not even ESPN 7. Like that
Yeah.
was on the premium ESPN.
It's like the T-ball of horseshoes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not even its own sport. It's like it's like, oh well, we don't have a horseshoe set up.
Right.
I don't have that thing you rent from Home Depot to put posts in the ground. Do you even have to do that, or you just fucking use like a railroad?
T-ball?
spike? No, for horseshoes.
I think you just
hammer it
into the lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, lawn.
That would be a
sport.
funny way to die, is hitting your gas line while trying to set up your own horseshoe setup. A man killed after setting up horseshoes. That's
Yeah.
probably why they invented cornhole.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
that kept happening.
Too many deaths.
Yeah.
Too many deaths.
Yep. I
Dude,
used that Dutch oven you gave me this week.
what'd you make?
I prepped a bunch of chicken for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's the way to go.
Stewed chicken?
Well, it's pretty simple. I just dump I just get a shitty Tostino's salsa from the corner store.
Really?
Put that in the pot, 1 packet of McCormick fajita.
Really?
Yeah, and then just drop chicken in there.
And you got your chicken
Put it on
for the
low
week.
heat, let it cook for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just shred it up.
I had a friend who subsisted entirely off of chili. He got a slow cooker. He lived in his art studio.
Dr. Diarrhea.
That was Max.
The Spider-Man villain, Dr. Diarrhea.
Max ate chili for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he lived in his art studio, so he didn't have a kitchen.
More like fart studio with all that fucking chili.
That's right, dude.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, this is all the sustenance I need.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he started smelling like it, sweating it out. Yeah.
Well, they say that's what the deal with Indian people is.
They too much chili.
Well, it's their diet, all the spices that they eat.
Mm-hmm.
But then I never understood that because people say that. They're like, oh, it's because of their food. But they don't smell like the food.
Well, the house smells like the food.
Does it?
Yeah, it's like you're using really strong spices, so, you know.
I also never found them to be stinky in particular. That's how it's people, that it smell crazy in there. And it's like Indian people just smell like Indian people.
You
You know what I mean? It's not
Well,
like,
I've never been to
it
India.
doesn't smell like body odor. You can tell when somebody's unclean.
Right,
But Indian people don't smell like body odor. They smell like Indian people.
right.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever... I guess I had a couple Indian friends growing up. Their houses smelled different. But yeah, it wasn't...
You take fucking Ubers.
Yeah. Have you smelled these cab drivers? No?
Yeah.
I did one time get in a cab.
If you get in an Uber and you see the earpiece in with the wire, you know you're in for a ride.
You know your boy's having the quietest conversation.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Shut
Shut up.
What you saying? Are you talking shit?
It's always, it's not only soft but delicate. It's always like.
Did I tell you that I was in a Uber once and this guy was like on the phone having one of those soft talky conversations, and he had like 2 phones. One was for Uber. The other one was like one of those enormous Galaxies, and it was just like the Brady Bunch of like 12 different guys in cars. They were like doing like
They were having like a Zoom meeting.
They were having like a Zoom meeting, and he's not saying shit. They're all pretty much silent. I could tell.
I love that, dude. That's like being a wing commander.
Yeah. And then he's like
Red one.
And then I see him like click on the Galaxy, and he opens up a CCTV camera of like a security cam from clearly his friend's deli, and it was just like literally it was just 2 girls were buying buying Elf bars or something, and definitely his boy was like on the chat. And he was like, 2 sexy baby mamas.
Yeah.
And he click to watch two women buy something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, when you wrap it up, I got to piss real bad.
All right, guys, thanks again for watching this episode. We will be back on Wednesday with, I think, a special guest. And yeah, folks, again, Nick is in Chicago this weekend, Colorado for his big special taping, and then at the end of the month, I will be returning to the motherland, Washington, D.C., the ugliest city in America. They call it Ugly Hollywood. I can't wait to go back. I haven't been there in some time, and that's where we all met each other and started comedy together, so that's where it all started, baby. But yes, in light of everything that's happening, take care of your loved ones. Tell them you love them. Yeah, thanks for watching. We wrapped?